Hello, so today we are going to see how to simulate a tensile test in Abacus software. So as we have completed our tensile test, so the data of tensile test we are going to use as material input, and we will simulate the geometry of tensile test specimen. So here is the geometry of tensile test specimen with a gauge length of 50 mm and cross sectional area of 10. This is a round bar type of tensile test specimen. So what we are going to model, we will take use of the we will use the symmetry and this is your gauge length, which is a very important parameter. So we are going to model only this area, quarter section of this tensile specimen. Only this section we are going to simulate, and the rest of it will be extrapolated by symmetry. With the help of software will automatically create a symmetry around it. So what is the total length? 50, and diameter is 10. So first of all, what we need to do is we need to convert the data from the tensile test machine. So machine will either give us the data in displacement versus load or the stress strain. So the main part is displacement load we are getting on the basis of gauge length. So gauge length here is 50 and displacement is L2 minus L1, that is final length minus initial length. So the displacement upon the initial length will give us the value of strain, that is displacement upon this gauge length, and the stresses will be load upon the cross sectional area. What will be the cross sectional area? Pi by 4 into d square. D is your 10 mm in diameter. So load upon area will be your stress. So this value here is called engineering stress strain, and you can plot that diagram. You can go to quick analysis. So we have already plotted it here. So the linear region, there are basically two types of region, that is linear region or elastic region, and after that there is a plastic deformation region. So up to the linear portion, the slope of this diagram is known as Young's modulus, that is E. And if the yield point is not specified, what we use 0.2% of offset. So the what we do, we make this 0.2% offset of this E line, and the intersection will give us the yield stress. So for that diagram, E is 210 gigapascal, 210 gigapascal. Yield is 543.9 or 544 MPa. Ultimate tensile strength is 646.5. So this one is the data of engineering stress strain. So what we are going to do now, we are going to convert that data into the, we are going to convert it for the Abacus input. So first of all, we need to convert this data to true stress strain curve. So the how to calculate true stress versus true strain? True strain is natural logarithm of 1 plus engineering strain, and true stress is engineering stress into 1 plus engineering strain. So in Excel you can calculate it by say this is your true strain line. What you are going to do, place equal ln 1 plus this one here is your strain, bracket close, and then what we will do, you will just swipe that data and it will convert every data automatically. Similarly, if you are going to convert that engineering stress to true stress, the formula is engineering stress multiplied by 1 plus engineering strain. So similarly you can calculate it, equal B9 is this value multiplied by 1 plus A9, that is your 1 plus engineering strain. So this one here is your true stress and true strain data. So make a quick plot. This one is your engineering stress data. And this is your true stress strain data. So Abaqus only takes data with rising curve. So we need to extrapolate that data after your maximum point or peak point of this true stress strain point. So we need, you may have heard the Holloman flow rule, sigma is equal to K multiplied K epsilon raised to the power n, where sigma is your true stress, K is the strength coefficient, epsilon is your true strain raised to the power n. What is n? N is your strain hardening exponent. So how to calculate this data? What you need to do is take a log base 10 of this true strain data and take log base 10 of true stress data. What you are going to do? Make a log base 10 of true strain and log base 10 of true stress. Now see from the point of yield strength, yield stress up to the ultimate tensile strength, that is this point. So we are going to take the data of log base 10 of from this data to this data, and then plot, make a quick analysis of it. This is similar, and go to the trend line, more option, and say display equation on chart. So this will give you the equation on the chart. So this one here is your equation in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. So m is here is your strain hardening exponent, that is n, and this c is intercept on the y-axis 2.95. So what will be the k? So here we have taken log base 10, hence equal 10 raised to the power that c 2.95, that is your 891.251. This will be your strength coefficient. So Holloman rule is extrapolation after that data, which is your peak or ultimate strength. So what you are going to do, we will name that data as Holloman data, and after this data, that is your ultimate tensile strength, this data has same value that like your true stress strain data. And after the ultimate strength, what you are going to do, you are going to apply this flow rule. So what is flow rule is sigma equals K multiplied by true strain raised to the power n. So you will take this value here, make it you are going to discard all these values after there. No values will be used of stress data. We will use only true strain data, and we will calculate the true stress data from that. That will give you only the rising portion. Say you make a equation here, put equal 892, that is your K, multiplied by true strain raised to the power strain hardening exponent. put equal and then drag that data up to your final rupture point. So this one here is your rupture point, and what we are going to do, we are going to take that data more than the rupture data, because there are global strain and local strain. So if we are going to see tensile specimen as global strain, so 20% or 0.2% is maximum strain. But if we see localized strain will be more than the global strain. Means stretching of the elements near the highly stressed area will uh, will will feel more strain than the sites that have fixed or away from the high concentration gradient. So we will simply put data like 0 0.1, 0 0.2, 0 0.3, or we can add any data up to 1 or 1.5. Let's say up to 1, and you will extrapolate that data up to 1. So this will give you 1,892. That will be your original strength coefficient. Let's see how this data. So what you have done here, you have added this data that will show you how to comparatively what we have done till yet. So this data here is your engineering stress strain data, then this data here is your true stress strain data. Then what we have done, we haven't used this falling curve, we have extrapolated that data by using flow rule. So this one here is your we will calculate input from this data only. See, there is only two types of strain, that is elastic and plastic strain. So Abaqus take input as true plastic strain. So how to calculate true plastic strain? We will take data up to see, this is your Holloman curve flow rule data, and we will take only data from the ultimate yield strength point, which is approximately 544. So here is nearby point is 546. So here we will calculate take it as 544 and copy all that data up to 892. And true plastic strain is true strain minus true stress upon E. E is your Young's modulus. So here we are going to see, this is your J28, that is true strain. What is your true strain is 0.00535. 0.00535 minus 546.832 upon 210 gigapascals. So you put equation like this, minus upon, so this will be your true plastic strain data. So what you are going to do, you put first value as 0, and if you have any other value, you will put that value equal to your yield strength data. So this data will be your input of plastic data. It is called plastic data or plastic input data for Abaqus. Let's color that data. And for elastic part, elastic region only takes E as GPa. This is your only elastic input data, and it also takes Poisson's ratio which is 0.3. So let's move on to the abacus. So I'm going to first give you an overview. So this section here is called model, where you create model, and these are your where you create one by one. These are the steps that you are going to use while simulating the any kind of test. That first one is part. Part means the geometry that we are going to make and simulate, such as tensile test or any other kind of test, such as 3-point bending or whatever you are. You can design any kind of geometry or any kind of test in this software. Then there is property. Property, that is your material property. Assembly, if you are multiple objects that we can assemble and simulate. Step is most important. Step means it is actually related to finite element method. So I will explain a little bit, but you are going to use only abacus static general. So I will come to that later. Then there is interaction. If there are things in contact, we are not going to use any kind of contact, so leave it. Then there is load. So loading you can done by either weighting or loading in newtons or displacement. So tensile tests are normally displacement based control. So you are going to apply displacement boundary control. That means you are going to uniformly displace the one point, and load will calculated according to the displacement. And then there is meshing. So as this abacus software is finite element method software, so meshing or discretization is done to make your problem to discretize that problem into smaller section. Then it solves its partial differential equation and give you the result. Then there is optimization. There is no use of that right now. And then job is where you complete the job, means here you run the simulation, and finally visualization is done to see the results. So now I will show you one by one how to create a model. So this one here is called your model tree, and whatever you can do here is also here. This portion is more elaborate. So first one is how to create a part. This is a manager. You can create it here, or you can directly click here. So both of them will give you the same. So there are three types: 3D, 2D, or axisymmetric. Axisymmetric we will use only for if the if the test is like cylindrical, such as this part. This one here is your cylindrical. So as I have told you that we are going to use symmetry. So the smaller the section, smaller will be the simulation time. So we are going to simulate only this area, and it will axisymmetric means it will rotate. The simulation will automatically calculate this whole section. So what are the dimensions we are going to model? So this is your symmetry, and this will be your 5, and here will be your 25. So one small thing that you are going to need, that we need to make a small discrepancy or disturbance here, so that it can nucleate a stress gradient here. So what we are going to do, we are going to make a very small dimensional disturbance, that is 4.95, because when we are going to apply displacement here, stresses are going to generate here. So create axisymmetric. So here are normal design options. So most basically is your this line command. Go to 0, 0, then 4.95, 0, then 5, 25. 25 is your this length. Then 0, 25, and then 0, 0. This is your you can also give dimension here. I'm showing you only for the, if you need to know anything else you can make it by any other method. I have given coordinates. You can also make by many methods. This one here is for deleting lines, and you can try many things more. Let's stick to the drawing design. So this one here is your part that we are going to simulate. Then after that we are going to make a property. So like here in the part, what we have part, and it is its part manager. Similarly for property, this is material 1, or this is its manager, material manager. So what is their material manager? We are going to create a material. So first give the density. So the main abacus works without any units. So unit must be homogeneous. You can find out what is homogeneous in internet if you search Young's modulus 210. It doesn't understand any kind of unit. So you need to make all it is called as homogeneous in MKS system and FPS system. It only purely mathematical based, so you don't need any you don't need any units. So as you can see here is your yield stress and plastic strain. So first data here must be, plastic strain must be 0 initially. So we are going to copy that data. Copy and paste. So this one here is done. You have created a material input. Then create a section. What is section? Section will give you this material property. That means you can assign any section with this kind of material property. Then after section, you are going to assign that section. Simply click and the color will be changed. Then you will know that section has been assigned to this geometry. That means now the material is attached with this material input. Then there is assembly. Simply click here, independent Meson instance, OK. And second is this step is we are going to use static general. This is your main step. Non-linear geometry, make it on, and the incrementation. Here just make it as I am doing. Here you create 0.01, 0.1. So this one is your finite abacus software increments the displacement you are going to give to this geometry. So just keep it as I am doing, and then there is this one here is your load manager, and this one here is displacement boundary condition manager. So what are the boundary conditions? What is a boundary condition? Let's say if it is your complete tensile specimen with a gauge length of this and 10 of cross section area, and this is a round bar. So how tensile test works: you displace above section and make it fix this region. And what we are creating here, only a quarter section. So how we will give it boundary conditions? This one here shows that this line will not go in the x direction, no movement in the x direction or u1 direction. It is in the abacus, no x direction movement, it has been constrained. And this one here is y is also constrained. Means if this is the point, it can move in this direction only, it will not go in the u2 direction. Similarly for this, it will not move in the x direction, although it can move in the y direction. So these are the constraints that we have, that we are going to put. And then there is boundary condition that is your displacement. So displacement will be 5 mm. Why we have given 5 mm? Because there is this is your test result, and this has given you the 10 mm of displacement. That means this section can sustain up to 10 mm. Since we are creating only a quarter section, that means 5 here, and using symmetry 5 will be in the opposite side. So total is 10 mm of displacement. So come back to this is your boundary condition manager. Create boundary condition. There are multiple types: symmetry, antisymmetric, and caster, velocity. You can also give velocity kind of boundary condition. So basically what we are going to do here is displacement. Click here, done, and u2 is 0. u2 means this section will be constrained right now. Then create another boundary condition, displacement. Click here, and u1 is constrained. Now create one more boundary condition, u2, and this one will be 5 mm upward direction. So it has given you the displacement of 5 mm. So loading has been boundary condition has been set. Now move on to the next part, that is your meshing part. So you are not going to use interaction or neither optimization. What we are going to use only parts, then property, assembly, step, then load, then meshing. So we will keep it simple as possible. So this one here is your seeding. Seeding means we will create a grid pattern, and that will be called as meshing. We can create by using multiple. This one here is your global seeding, and then click this one, and this will create a pattern. So these are the seeds where this grid is generated. It has 500 elements. So we have created a mesh. Now the most important is this section here. Assign. Select the regions to be assigned element type. So element library standard, we are doing a standard test. Static general is also known as standard or abacus standard. So we will keep everything as default here. Axisymmetric stresses with reduced integration. So we have used axisymmetric elements, so that is why here is the element type is CAX4R. Click OK. Then move on to the job. Job is your say tensile 1. Continue, and you can either use parallelization. Parallelization is using your course or how many processor cores in your processor you can use. Then submit the data. After submitting, you will monitor. So this one here is your increment, that is attempt, and this will show you total time, that is 1 second. So there is no relation to the actual tensile test time and time in the simulation. Simulation is run for 1 second, that is your mathematical time. So no relation. So now results. This is your result. This is your these are your contour plots and how it has happened. This is the animation. We can create, so here you can, this is not necessary but only for representation I am showing you this sweep 360 and mirror about XZ. What is XZ? This is your XZ plane. So this, in this way it you can see the complete specimen in 3D. And how the necking starts. So just now there is post processing or how to get that data. So here is your displacement is given on this section. So now the important point is XY data manager. What we are going to do is we are going to extract data from this simulation. Create now ODB. ODB is your output database, output ODB field output. Click select, continue, and then integration point centered element nodal, and then this is unique nodal. So you are going to select unique nodal and then click RF2. What is RF2? The reaction forces in the U2 direction or U2 or Y direction. Here click edit section and select only the upper nodes and then save. So this is here you have got RF2 value, and also make what we need, load and displacement. Now delete this, go remove RF2. Now this is your spatial displacement or simply the displacement in U2 direction. What is U2? Where the load is applied on the U2 direction, and the displacement is also happened in U2 direction. So you can select any node, it will give you the same displacement. Save. So this one here is your U2. Now create and operate on XY data. Now you are going to, so what we are going to do right now, we are going to add up all the load in this, add up all the loads in this node. So operate on this XY data operation. It is only a calculated section here. You can calculate So first go to sum only. This is RF2, means reaction forces. Add expression here and then save as. This is here your total load. Now clear expression and go to combine U2 and XY data. So the load will be doubled, or reaction forces will be same, but U2 will be 2 multiplied by this displacement in because the displacement we have given only in one direction, so it will be 2. So it has given you the XY data 2, or the load displacement data of this. So what we are going to do, we are going to copy this data. Now go to your original. So this data we have calculated from Abaqus simulation. So here we have calculated load, displacement and load. So we are going to convert it into engineering stress strain. Say engineering strain and engineering stress. So similarly, how we have calculated here displacement and load. Displacement upon gauge length. This is your gauge upon 50. Drag it down and then equal load upon area. Area is your pi by 4 into 10 square. That will be 78.4. Now this is your actual or experimental data, and this is your simulated data. So this data here is your simulation, and this data here is your actual engineering data. So in this way we can clear, we will not get actual result because it is a simulation. We can use any kind of geometry here, and we can calculate whatever stresses and data. So this is how we can model the tensile specimen in the Abaqus simulation software. Okay, thank you.